Okay, this will be an interesting, well, it's actually a boring piece. We'll see if we can make it look interesting. Something that I hate, once again, and there's heaps of them now because it's this time of the year. It's this time of the year, folks. No, I don't want that. We're seeing heaps of these. It's this time of the year. Let's see what we have. We have here, okay, it's a Woolworths docket, but on the back we've got advertisements, and the one we're focused on is this silly back to school. So it's back to school time, folks. As if you'd want to know, if you're a school kid and you're watching this video, you don't really want to know because school really, really and truly sucks. School sucks, folks. Can't say any more than that. School really, really sucks. It's really a shitty place to be, and they don't teach you in a very nice kind of manner. You know, it's old-fashioned stuff. School was a place I hated, and I used to get really anxious when these back-to-school advertisements used to show up on television. I used to be terrified going back there. I didn't want to go back. All the teasing and the bullying, sure, and the schoolwork, yuck. You know, there was nothing there for me at school, and that's fucked. We fucked it. There was nothing there for me at school. I did have some good times, I must say, but most of the time it was horrible. It was not a place where you could feel comfortable. There was no such thing as being comfortable at school. All those fucking idiots constantly at me, not allowing me to have a fucking peace time. Even in the library they wouldn't leave me alone, fucking assholes. So school has a lot of nasty connotations for a person like myself, and I'm not going to fucking want to go back even to a school reunion. I don't want to fucking face those assholes again. I've had enough. School's shit. There was nothing good about school. I mean, there were some moments where I had some fun, but most of the time it was bloody awful. It's fucking awful. So I would have preferred to stay on holiday for good, you know, if it was possible. It's back to school shit. Gotta go back to school. Yeah. Song by John and Vangelis. I actually like that song, actually, but I wouldn't want to go back there. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how we go with back to school. Yeah. Hated school. School sucked. School really, for the life of me, sucked. But we can, hopefully in the future there'll be a better way of learning. Hopefully someone with half a fucking brain can formulate a better type of learning than the shit we have now. That really sucked. And that still sucks to this day. No, school was mainly for when people were going to work in factories where they have to sit still and quiet and listen to the boss. But we don't have that style of work anymore. In fact, factory work has gone out of vogue. We don't have many factories, so we have to create learning situations which are more up to the minute with the technology, like phones and tablets and shit like that. We can't just, school is really dehumanising, folks. It's really horrible. There's got to be a way to make it a more productive and a better place for the future, because there's not many factories left here in Australia, so why should we learn about factories or factory style? That's what I've read about school. It'd be nice if school could be more up to the minute, maybe focusing on tools like social media, because social media, even though they consider some schools, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, have banned people from using phones and shit, but they're an important part of our society now. We can't ignore these technology gadgets. We can't ignore these gadgets, folks. We have to incorporate them into school. Like, I remember back in the days, when I was in primary school, back in grade 5, grade 5, we were learning cursive writing, even though by the time I got out of high school, computers were already taking over. So there's no use for handwriting. Oh, yeah, we do use handwriting still, so maybe I'm a bit wrong there. But most of the... that was in 1983 when computers, and I don't know why we had to learn cursive writing. We actually don't have a use. We have a use for handwriting, right? Pardon the pun. We have a use for handwriting, but we don't have a use for things like cursive handwriting. We never used it in the workplace. It's good enough if you can simply print or write without the cursive writing. So we were taught that we needed cursive writing after school. But I don't use cursive writing, and I can't do it for fuck. I was no good at handwriting. Even to this day, my handwriting's absolute shit. So you can imagine how bad my cursive handwriting would be. So cursive writing is just, there's no use for it. And yet they were telling us to learn it back in 1983. And I do have a place. Handwriting's important, you do still need it. You can't always use your tablet or your phone or your computer. So I do use handwriting, but it's just for purely practical use. There's no cursive. I'm not going to use my fucking cursive writing. Some of the characters in my handwriting do look a bit cursive, because I did learn a bit of cursive, and it sort of carried on into my normal handwriting. I both print and use normal handwriting. Like I sometimes use upper and lower case letters, but usually I print, so I use full on uppercase letters when I'm writing. So I normally use, when I sign my name, I typically use both upper and lower case. Well, I do always when I sign my name, of course, but when I'm writing, I normally just print in full capital letters. It's easier that way. It's easier to read than my lowercase handwriting, as well as, capitals and lowercase, that sort of shit. So yeah, we need a real change. We've got to make school adapt to the 2020s and beyond. We've got to think of like coding. I don't know what they do at school now, but I'm hoping that in the future they'll change it. They'll improve on it. But anyway, that looks interesting. I think now we can call this demo quits.